Hey, my friends. So I hope you guys are doing well. I am here making this video because it is February 25th, and that is my Gohanzen birthday, which basically I'm a SGI USA member and a Nichiren Buddhist, and today is the ninth anniversary of my becoming a Nichiren Buddhist. And unfortunately, it is also the eighth anniversary of my mom passing away. So it's kind of always a mixed bag when it comes to this day because uh, I've enjoyed being a Buddhist. I've made a lot of friends within the organization in my district and, you know, outside of my district. And it's something I've enjoyed. Um, but literally, my mother passed away, you know, natural causes on the first anniversary of my becoming a Buddhist. So it's just always tinged with kind of sadness because, I love my mom. I will always love my mom. We had a really great relationship. And I've chosen to look at it as her passing is her way of kind of supporting me on this journey. She's always been supportive of me. And she expressed her support of me being a Buddhist. She trusted that I knew what I was doing. But you understand, it's just, I feel sometimes like I'm just rationalizing doing that. But at the same time, I choose to believe that. That was her way of kind of supporting me. Because otherwise, it's just kind of like, you know, hard to kind of celebrate this day. And it still is, but I'm still choosing to try and put a positive spin on it because I don't think she would want me to be sad on this day. Whether it was, because she passed or because her passing was on my Gohanzen birthday. So I just choose to feel that way, knowing her my entire life, that she would want it to be a supportive thing and she would want me to be happy on this day. Uh, However, again, this last year, 2025, I will say, has been one of my toughest because I've been unemployed and searching for a way to kind of make sense of being in this situation because I've never not been able to get a job before and I have the skills. But with AI being something that kind of is the gatekeeper when you send out, resumes, it's been a challenge. I just recently had to get my resume updated to kind of be able to get past the AI barriers by using an AI program to kind of help reshape my resume. But, whatever. But I will say this, part of my challenge of this year, one with, there's a fatigue that comes with literally having a 9 to 5 job, being searching for a job and finding work that you say, yeah, I could do this. I could see how I can make a contribution to society doing this job, or I have the skills, or I'm overqualified for this job and still not be able to get one. It's hard to kind of continually motivate yourself. And I've been trying to use my practice as a motivation, and I've been chanting for what's approaching a year without success. So it's had me questioning over these last few months my practice and trying to make sense of it, because it's not like it's about magic and you chant, but at the same time, I don't know how to describe it if you're not a Buddhist, but they say that when you're chanting and you're aligning yourself with the mystic law, mystical things, happen and whatnot, in terms of achieving what you want. And when you hear people talk about experiences of proof of the practice, it sounds like, oh my God, they're chanting and these things just mystically fall into place for them. And I'm like, I haven't had that experience. So as I move into my 9th year, I have been kind of questioning whether I would continue on into my 9th year. And I've had, what do you call it, meetings with senior leaders for kind of support and guidance as to what to do. And the guidance has run the gamut, but I think for me what it's come down to is they've always said that this practice, it's easy to start but hard to kind of maintain, because you're trying to live your life, creating happiness for yourself and others. And it's a happiness they call it genuine happiness, where it's not dependent upon something happening in order for you to be happy. So that means kind of waking up with just a desire to enjoy your day, to appreciate and be grateful for things in your life. And all of this stuff has just stirred up so much anger in me from, my falling out with my business partner, which I'm trying to really learn to let go. And I guess what I'm recognizing is that I need to forgive him, chant for his happiness, and move forward. Because I think by holding on to that anger, because it, that situation of him kind of turning, on me for reasons I don't want to get into, but basically he was trying to gaslight me and make me feel like I could not survive without him in the entertainment industry or in business in general. And it really started messing with my head, because it was constant for a long period of time. And I trusted this person, but at the same time, I'm like, this guy is coming at me in a way that's just ugly. And this guy was my closest friend, so it's really been something it's been hard to let go of. It's been a few years, and I, for the most part, let it go. But when I get into the certain spaces, I get really angry about it. And I recognize I think I need to let that go. Whether I continue being a Buddhist or not, I need to let that go, because I don't want to be somebody carrying around anger. But I'm digressing a little bit. But the point is, I've been, over these last few months, really wrestling with, is this practice working for me? Because it doesn't feel like it is. But as I've been kind of reflecting and focusing on the things that I am grateful for, I'm recognizing that the difficulties I've been going through over this last year are things that I've been challenging, and working on. And the thing about the Buddhist practice is that it's really about working on yourself, creating your best self, and trying to create happiness for yourself and for others. Like I said, I'm sorry, my contacts are driving me crazy today. So I've been, it's been like a roller coaster of being upset, trying to be positive, and at the end of the day, I feel like I want to keep going with this practice, even though in this moment I'm not feeling like it's working for me, it is forcing me to look at my life in a really profound way and do what I can to improve my life, to improve my thinking so that it's so much is not focused on one anger or in kind of believing the gaslighting that was taking place, because this guy was my closest friend, so he knew all of my background in terms of being bullied and the pain that came with that. And the reality is that he, consciously or unconsciously, was a continuation in my life of a bully figure who would spit out nasty things to me, and I would just kind of brush it off. And the best thing that came from this practice is my coming to the realization that I deserve better than that. And yet, I feel like he's pushed so many buttons in my head that I now need to take responsibility, is what I'm recognizing now. I want to take 100% responsibility for my life, for my actions, and that comes from being a Buddhist. But that's not easy. So I'm recognizing that while the things that he said to me that were so nasty and continuous, kind of messing with my head, my taking that in as, whatever truth there is to what he's saying in terms of my inability to, be successful without his support, is something I have to work on, realizing that, one, that's not true. I don't believe that it's true, because it's not true. But because of my history of being bullied, it really does mess with my head that my closest friend would be the person who turned on me like this. So I feel vulnerable in a way that I've not been vulnerable before. And he's no longer in my life, other than for specific business reasons that I have to stay connected. But other than that, I'm moving forward, and I know I need to move forward in as healthy a way as possible. So I'm trying to do that. And part of that is me taking responsibility in knowing that I don't need this person in my life in order to be successful. And I don't have to buy into that mentally, because I think in some way I must have, because I'm feeling like this not being able to, land a job is in some way validating his saying, oh, you'll never make it without me kind of crap. So I'm really choosing, since I've had that realization, to work on that part of myself, to recognize that I tend to beat myself up a lot. I tend to kind of not see myself in the way that some other people see me. So I tend to just kind of, I guess, continue on that, I don't want to say abuse, but that kind of beating myself up about things instead of recognizing there's no truth to this. Move on. That's that person's issue. It's not mine. But there is something in me that I think I feel I still need to heal. So I'm making an effort to do that healing and to really appreciate my life as fully as possible. So I think as I'm moving into this new 9th year of my being a Buddhist, I am really going to dive deeper into my study and into embracing what it is to be a Buddhist. And a large part of that is giving myself permission to heal myself and not carry on behavior and ways of thinking that don't empower me. And I want to move into the rest of my life enjoying my life and embracing all the wonderful things that I do have going. I mean, I'm on my own. I left that job. I spoke up for myself in that situation. He chose not to believe that any of it's happening, which for me is another form of gaslighting. But for me, this period of time, these last few years have been a challenge. This last year has been a real challenge because I'm choosing myself. I'm choosing to believe in myself. I'm choosing to move in a direction away from being an actor to writing and content creation and learning to, which is what this whole channel is about, starting my life from scratch and living my best life. And I'm realizing as I've been reflecting, which is what I do on kind of significant days, like my birthday and this second birthday, of receiving my Gohanzen, I'm recognizing that my work of self-healing is continual. Life is going to keep happening. Things are going to, come, and this Buddhist practice kind of really helps people deal with the things that I'm dealing with. So in a way, I have to really choose to lean into my practice and learn to truly love and appreciate myself if I'm expecting other people to do the same. So I know it sounds a lot really woo-woo, but when you're actually trying to live your life this way in terms of truly being happy and loving yourself and empowering yourself, that doesn't just happen like that. You got to put the work in. And I'm at a place where I'm willing to put the work in because I feel like getting the full-time job that I want to get in order to have the funds to move forward at a deeper level with the LLC I created for my own business that focuses on writing and the content creation. I have to trust that that's going to fall into place because it's a part of my journey to becoming the writer that I want to be and the content creator that I want to be. So it's not like I just want any job, but I do want to work and be able to pay my bills because family has been helping me out, and I totally appreciate that support. But I want to get to that place where I'm standing on my own again and living my best life. So I'm making this video just, I guess, to make that declaration on my 9th anniversary of being a Buddhist, that I am not giving up. The motto of this, organization is never give up. And it's not easy, but I'm making that determination today, not to quit being a Buddhist, but to double down, study harder, and really try and live my best life as a writer, as a human being, as a content creator, just as a gay man trying to live his best life. I am staying with being a Nichiren Buddhist and member of SGI USA, and I'm going to be focusing a lot on the things I have to be grateful for and for forgiving and chanting for the happiness of those who it's difficult to chant for their happiness. I'm making that effort because I want to heal myself. It has nothing to do with that other person. It has to do with me living my best life. And living my best life means not carrying around this anger and hatred for this person, but to recognize they're a human being, they have their own Buddha nature, and while I don't have to have them in my life, I don't have to mentally carry them with me for the rest of my life. I can choose to wish them well, chant for their happiness, and move in the direction of where my life is taking me. And trust that I will find the money to be able to take my business to the next level where my YouTube channel can get monetized and I can make a living as a writer and a content creator. And that means I have to have a day job full-time that covers all of my finances while I'm waiting for my channel to get monetized and all these other things to take place, great. Or if Mystic Law, the universe, has something else in store for me that'll help me to pay my bills and to repay my family for their support, I have to trust that it will happen in the way that it's meant to happen, and that everything I'm experiencing are things I need to be experiencing and going through. I mean, I've been going back and forth. I've had so much anger and emotion over this last year that's led me to this place where I realize enough is enough. I need to heal myself through this practice, and that's what I'm choosing to do. And I'm hoping, trusting, and believing that the job I need to help me pay my bills will come to me. All the money I need to pay my bills on time will come to me. And I'm not going to try and control it and say it has to happen this way, but trust that as I put the work in to live my best life, appreciate myself, and stand up for myself, and try and support others in my life, that my life will fall into place. It's kind of weird that I'm making this video, I'm putting it all out there, but I want to put it all out there for myself to say, as I start my 9th year as a Nichiren Buddhist and a member of SGI USA, I am determined to live my happiest life and to live a prosperous life and to enjoy every aspect of my life. I love making content. I want to get better at it. I love writing. I want to get better at that as well. And I am trusting, as I take this leap of faith, that things are going to fall into place as long as I keep putting in the work to live my best life. So I'm going to leave that here and move forward. I just wanted to acknowledge that this is the start of my 9th year as a Nichiren Buddhist and member of SGI USA, and I look forward to transforming my life in the best sense of that and learning to really shape my thinking to reinforce the life that I want, instead of wasting time beating myself up mentally when things don't go as planned. So as a control freak, it's going to be challenging to let that go and leave into my practice. But that's the decision I made. I really believe in this practice. I've seen it in others, in their lives, and I really do think that when I look at my situation objectively, for me to take full responsibility for my thoughts, my actions, for my life, then that means taking responsibility that what is happening in my life since I've left that toxic situation is all for the better, because I don't regret leaving that situation. It was toxic as hell, and I have to own my responsibility for having stayed in that situation longer than I should have, because I believed in the friendship and that it would turn into a positive thing, but you can't control other people's thoughts. And I learned truly what this person thought of me, and it wasn't very nice. But their thinking of me is not me. So I've had to recognize I need to be the one defining my life, what I accept and don't accept, and being okay with letting people go in my life who are toxic or who are not helpful to me. And that's, believe it or not, has been a struggle where I've taken crap from people, because that kind of comes with the bullying. When you have been bullied, in an extreme way, when you do have friendships, you want to hold on to them as tight as you can, because it helps you feel empowered in some way that these people care about you. So even though they may say things that are hurtful, you can kind of rationalize, oh, well, they didn't mean it. Unfortunately, I learned when people are like that, that's just, the bully in disguise. So I've had to learn so much about myself and really take responsibility that I didn't do this sooner, but I'm doing it now. And as long as you're alive, that's all that matters, because moving forward, as I address my issues, address my life, I am choosing happiness. And happiness, in that genuine sense of waking up feeling happy to be alive, regardless of what's happening in your life, that's where I want to be. That's how I choose to live the rest of my life, because I wasted so much time being upset, being angry at myself for not succeeding in the way that I wanted to succeed. And really, I think it was just kind of a level of self-abuse, really. And I'm done with that. So I'm using this 9th year of my Buddhist practice to really dig deeper, to do some serious healing, and to just start living my best life in every sense of that word. I mean, I was very specific when I created this channel that that's what I wanted this channel to be about, largely because I knew that this was something I needed to heal, even if I didn't speak it out loud, that I needed to learn to care about myself more than anything, and not in any kind of self-involved way. But when you've been bullied, something is kind of thrown off when it happens in a way that's scarring. You need to heal that. And it's taken me decades to get to this place, because I pretended like, oh, I'm over it. But I wasn't, clearly, because my life has been reflecting that I don't love myself as much as I could, and I don't believe in myself as much as I should. And I'm making the choice now to do the healing work. Let me tell you, it's not easy facing your issues and really learning to be okay when suffering comes, knocking on your door. But that's the choice I'm making, and I'm looking forward to moving into the next chapter of my life, having built this channel to force me out of my comfort zone and do these things and address these things, like making a video acknowledging it. Because if I didn't have this, format to do it, I probably would kind of brush it under the rug, or I wouldn't really deal with it, because this is forcing me to deal with it in ways I haven't before, and will continue off camera because that's where the real work is done. But creating a video of it for who I am as a person is forcing me to hold myself accountable and to put the work in. So I look forward to being able to make reflections as I start my 10th year in 2027 to see how much I've grown from now at this point until then. So let's have a fabulous, adventurous year, and let's see how much healing I can do. All right, that's it for now. I appreciate all of you who have signed up for this, as a subscriber to my channel, and for helping me move in the direction of getting my channel monetized. I accept that my channel is probably going to be a slow growing channel, and that I'm learning as I go. And again, my channel is about living my best life. So at the end of the day, that's what I want for myself and for others. So I appreciate all of you joining me on this journey. And I hope that I can create some content that is helpful to you guys and inspires other people to help me reach my goal, because I've got 4,000 hours, not 400,000, 4,000 public viewing hours that I need to reach in order to, I believe, be eligible for my channel to be monetized. I'm approaching the other eligibility requirement of 1,000 subscribers. I'm at like 956, I think. So that, coupled with hopefully creating content that people want to listen to, that will help me get the hours I need to become monetized. So I appreciate all of you for whatever support you're able to give me, or for just kind of being on the journey. And I appreciate your comments, so feel free to leave a comment about anything I've said. I mean, if I can't take, comments, off the things I'm saying, then, what's the point? So feel free to say whatever you want to say, and I will respond back as respectfully as possible. But I really just want to end this saying thank you guys for your support, and I look forward to sharing as many positive adventures as I can on this channel, whether it's finding new things in the city to discover, or sharing with you things that I'm going through, or protests that I've been attending and trying to document on my channel. I just want to show all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly of starting this new chapter of my life and learning to live my best life. Because I really do believe I can't live my best life until I truly learn to love myself in the healthiest way possible. Not in the woo-woo kind of way, but in deeply recognizing my value and trying to share that, with others. All right, so I'm going to keep rambling, so I will say again, thank you, everybody. Please support my channel. Watch as many videos as you can to help me get those hours in, and I will try to make more interesting videos as I learn, how to do editing and all the other stuff. And I am trusting that the job I need to help me move forward is going to find its way to me, and I don't need to stress about it. I'm going to put the work in, applying for places, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to trust that the universe knows what's right for me and is guiding me in that direction. I just need to listen, to chant, meditate, and put the work in to create the life that I want to create. And I hope you guys find some inspiration to follow your dreams, your goals for yourself. And I hope in some way I'm inspiring you guys to get out there and live your best life. There's a world out there to be enjoyed. Let's go out and enjoy it. All right? Besos.